But yeah, you are telling us about your journey at NOC.
Yeah.
Starting when you were alone. What really kept you going? Because it's quite a journey you've mentioned. Yeah, okay, you're a bit of fair, but what kept you going to now where you are? Because that's tough.
I think just as I was telling you guys, just training with the athletes every day, it gives you that passion. I started even running, and I didn't even like running, but just
Steph, ulikuwa unakimbia?
I still do, Greg.
Oh, you still do?
I joined running club yet, but sisi nini night runners liona juzi Greg akiambia hivyo, but no, I actually get motivated from our athletes. There's a lot when you work for Team Kenya, such a huge brand. You get to see how much it takes to get an Olympian. It takes 4 years. 4, even sometimes 8. Like now we have athletes training for Brisbane 2032. 8 years. Yeah.
2032.
We have a golf athlete who came and told us, this is where I'm at. I'm not interested in Paris.
That
I
want to go to Australia.
I'm not interested in LA. I'm going to Brisbane.
Oh.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine that patience?
Yeah.
That dedication.
That
when
discipline,
you keep seeing these athletes give their all. Sometimes you train for 8 years and get an injury the night before your race. The night before your game. Sometimes you train for 4 years and the coach doesn't choose you.
Yeah.
You're not in the final squad.
You're just off form.
Or you're not performing well. So I think that has just kept me pushing. It feels like you want to give more. You want to tell the world, look at what our athletes are able to do. So I think our athletes are my biggest motivation. If you see my Twitter handle, it says my job is the lovely job I do is I work for the best bosses in the world. Team Kenya, the best.
Absolutely. All right.
Steph, you've talked about LA 2028. Last year we had this Team Kenya, specifically athletics, the under 20 boys and girls who represented the country at the World Junior Athletics Championship. And I remember the then CS for Sports, Honorable Kipchumba Murkomen, highlighted that most of these boys and girls were being shaped for the LA Games. And just following up, Athletics Kenya also confirmed the same, and there are scholarship programs that have been awarded to some of these athletes. Talking of the likes of Dorcas Ewoi, the likes of Ishmael Kirui, some of these young athletes. Edmund Serem, I'm not sure if he's gotten one or something. Just before we go to the scholarship thing, has NOC adopted that, and maybe how do you feel about athletes shaping themselves for the next summer games? Not training in the country, but training in a weather that they'll be competing in the next 4 years.
I think youth development is a big deal. Like just I've mentioned, for us it starts early, 8 years before, and you have to be very young. Looking at the Olympics, even just from the World Championship, from the rugby team, it's the young athletes that are going to make it to LA, to Brisbane. So for NOC now we have different pathways for you to become an Olympian, for us to support elite athletes. Remember at NOC we are only dealing with national teams and the elite athletes. So we also have scholarships. We have different pathways. We support them through NOC has its own scholarship from its own fund. We have scholarships from IOC. We have scholarship from ANOCA. ANOCA is all the National Olympic Committees of Africa. So we have different ways in which we support them. And it's not just about the money. Sometimes it's just about science, and that's why the other day we were just speaking about sports and science integration. We're no longer just we're a running country, we're just good in sports. No, we have to adapt to what the world is adapting in. So we now integrate a lot of sports and science. We have to start early. We have to have data for our athletes. A lot of young athletes now, we want to have their data. We want to see how you're progressing, and that's why off air I was telling you that now we're interested in a lot of AI, a lot of statistics. We want to bring in professionals to work with our junior athletes. We want media to know them when they're young. It's like a family. You work together for the 4 years.
Absolutely. All right, go on, Greg.
And some of the things that what are some of the things that you learned from, let's say, having a team camp in an area early enough before a tournament and heading into that major championship? Specifically Miramas, what lessons did you pick from that as a media person, and also maybe a Kenyan? And of what importance was that towards having the result that we got?
I think one of the greatest quotes I read this week is, the best thing you can ever give to a human being is exposure. There's a big difference between Nyashwa Nairobi na Wakakamega. Alisema ni wapi?
Navaholo.
Lurambi.
Sio Navaholo. Umeruka na watu wa Navaholo.
Navaholo siku huko nilikuwa tu kazi.
There's a huge difference. Just seeing our athletes, some of them tulikuwa tunacheka kwa ofisi kusema some of them just even going to Miramas before the big stage going to Paris. It really helped them going and coming back. So I think even having pre-camp, and hopefully we'll get a good city towards LA 2028 that will just accept our athletes in acclimatization. We want our athletes to wazoe. If it's going to be very hot in LA, just in Paris it was super hot. But because they had camped in Miramas, and Miramas is south of France, which is even hotter. Yeah, it's just next to the ocean, so it's very hot. I think just acclimatization, getting to see even other athletes that are training in that pre-camp, so you're not meeting them for the first time on the start line in let's say in LA. You've already trained with them. Getting to know different styles, even the learning of new language, new culture. In Paris, we were telling them you have to learn how to eat easy chakula, because when you go to Paris, and it's the Olympic Village has like 100 delicacies, because they're Asians, they're Africans. So we're telling them you have to learn these things before Paris. I think our athletes had an easy time just settling in Paris because they had been in Miramas. So it was all aspects, it helped them.
I was checking out your Instagram. Not checking, not stalking. There's a difference. And I saw you made a post about Paul Tergat and the mentorship he gave you when he was working at NOC. How big of an influence was he for you? And even the mentorship that you also mentioned that particular post on Instagram.
Tergat is an idol for me. He's I think I look up to him. Like I've told you guys, just working with athletes and career transition is a big deal for us at NOC. Because what we've seen is, and I want to big up Ombachi. Look at just how he's transitioned.
Dennis Ombachi.
From being a rugby player, and he talks about his mental health issues and how he used to travel the world and just see different delicacies and started cooking. So it just goes to show how you can transition. What happens for an athlete actually after an injury, a life-threatening injury. And so to see my former boss, Dr. Tergat, who's still a legend, our marathoner, 5 times Olympian, transition into being NOC president, IOC member, not Kenda Games, mkifika pale, nyi mnaambia to the left, IOC member Peter Isaid. Yani, he's even bigger almost than the head of states. IOC member is a big deal. So to see him just transition and be humble. Still be humble, still love sports. If you just read my Instagram, I was just saying that I hope one day I'll still meet him in the Ngong Hills and we can run with him. Still runs, speaks about being a granddad and how he's passionate about his kids now starting even to run. I think Tergat really influenced athletes. He really you could tell he had this energy when he entered the room. So it's important for athletes. For him, the transition towards just corporate leadership from being on the track to off the track, and Humphrey has done a good job at that, of course. It's important for athletes to see that if somebody else could do it those days, what about now? I can do it.
Why not anyway? And I saw you mentioned just about in that part you mentioned about mental health. How big is mental health for NOC and enriching that to the athletes? Because with some athletes, once they retire, wengine wana struggle sana mentally because of I don't know, poor financial management, and even within as they go on with their sport. We have seen so many athletes even who are active talking about how they are struggling mentally. How big a deal is it for you guys, and maybe what efforts are you guys putting into enrich and create that awareness more towards the athletes?
And also my Instagram, I was just speaking about some from Jermaine from Tottenham. And
especially that one. Please talk more about that one as well.
So mental health, it's actually it needs you for you to be an athlete, even for you to go to the gym. It takes everything in you mentally. Imagine training, like I was telling you, for 8 years, and on the night before the race, you're told you can't run, you can't be in the squad. That thing takes a toll on you. Can't take back those 8 years you've been training for. Can you imagine 100 meters? I was telling Omanyala, you train 4 years
for 9 seconds.
Yes, it's yani I've been training for 9 point something seconds of my life. And you don't know if you'll make it. You pray to be healthy. So for us at NOC, what we've done is we've partnered with Chiromo Hospital in terms of mental health, before any big games, we make sure that Chiromo takes our athletes to different aspects.
Yes.
And even our journalists, I think they've come to our seminars, our coaches, through different sessions of mental health. It's such a big issue right now.
Yeah.
All over the world, mental health is everything. You might be fit, your body might be fit, but your mental health is not there.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'll give you guys an example of Patrick Odongo from rugby. About 2 years or a year ago, he lost his mom.
Yeah.
And it was actually Olympic qualifier.
Yeah, it was just before the final qualifier for the Olympics.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Patrick is such a good athlete. He was actually rising.
Yeah,
I think it was just the star of the team.
Yes.
And I remember just reading the stories all over media saying that he still told the coach, you know what?
I want to do this.
I still want to get into the field. For an athlete to have that sort of courage, it takes everything.
And did he just score the winning try that took Kenya to the Olympics?
Yes.
Yeah, he did.
God damn.
Yeah.
The final try for Shuja to get into the Olympics.
Yeah.
And even for Omanyala, and it's good that I say this, most people don't know that how Omanyala came to rise is he just called me one day. He's like, hi, my name is Omanyala, naishi uko ghetto, uko ndani.
Wait.
Yeah?
Rudia.
Yes, most people don't know. Actually, most people don't know that I'm the one who found Omanyala, and I want to brag about it.
Please.
Way.
It's your moment, please. Let's take it away.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this guy calls my phone. That time I was working with a friend of mine called Jimo. We were only two in my department.
Right.
So he calls me, he's like, hi, I got your number. I don't even remember where I got my number from. I have to ask him. And he's like, mimi naishi huku baba dogo. And that time he's speaking that Kakamega accent. Mimi naishi huko Kakamega.
Huku Papa Togo.
Huko Papa Togo. Huko nyuma ya Kasarani.
Baba.
He's like, I'd like you guys to come and film me. And I think I can make it for 100 meters. Yes, Olympics.
Yeah.
Wow, the audacity.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's Kwanzaa, I'm looking at the date. I'm like, it's like 7 months or 6 months to Tokyo Olympics.
Tokyo, yeah.
He keeps calling my phone every single time. So one day I tell Jemo, hakuna kitu tunafanya, see, we just go see this guy.
Yes.
And he will not be happy for me to say this, but mimi nilifika hapo, I keep laughing with him. Iyo nyumba, by the way, sikuwa najua stairs zinaenda. Okay, so this is the house. But hizi stairs zinaenda kitchen. I can see him akishuka na sufuria. But I was like, where kitchen iko wapi?
Yes.
I can see anashuka na chai. Yeah. Chai ni lazima.
Yes.
But anyway, we filmed him and he was like, you guys store that video because I'm coming.
You got it up to now?
Yes.
Is it not time you released it?
I will.
Sure.
So what happened is I stayed with the video.
Yes.
And so the backstory is, of course, he had been banned for some time.
Yeah.
He was in uni.
Yes.
So he had been banned. And now he was telling me he's finished his ban, but he's even faster. And he
Yeah.
was from rugby.
And
Yeah.
I remember,
Yeah, he was from rugby, yeah.
Remember, it was during that time I also was making my debut in athletics commentary.
Oh, you don't say.
Yeah. So at Kasarani, I remember it was the Olympic trials.
Yeah.
Right? No, first it was the National Athletics Championship.
Yeah.
Yeah, just before the Olympic trials.
All right.
And then Ferdinand comes and does a 10-1. Just days after I did a 10-0 in Nigeria. In some meet. And then it's like Ferdinand comes to the mic. You know, those days tulikuwa nafanya commentary to ilikuwa kienyeji. Tunafanya tunavuta athlete kutoka huko China na kuja na kaa vile Staphey amekaa hapa. Then I interviewed the athlete. So the athlete was like, I really plead with Athletics Kenya to just allow me this chance to represent Kenya at the Olympics. Then we create a monster out of it.
Yes.
Little did I know she was the one who initiated this.
There were so many debates on whether he will race actually at the trials. And mi ananiambia, wewe nipatie chance.
Please.
I'm telling you, the former CS, Amina, came to so many meetings and say, what's up with this boy? He's calling everybody. But I'm so proud of him. Like, look at what he keeps proving himself. I mean, I think he's dragged with him so many athletes, and only goes to show that it needs you to give a chance to somebody. How many Omanyalas can we get?
Because I remember when they ran the Olympic trials, I was doing commentary for that, and then I remember the last statement he told me before they went to the final with Marco Tieno, who the national record holder then. That this is my brother. I want to make sure that me and my brother qualify for Tokyo. And I think the standard qualification time for the Olympics then was 10:05. And I think Mark, during the final, Ferdinand did another 10 flat, and Marco Tieno did a 10:05 10:04. So they both qualified for the Olympic Games.
Yes.
Until the unfortunate happened when Mark was pulled out of the mini.
Yeah.
But then you look at that progression, you're like, yes. So Ferdinand goes to the Olympics, reached the semi-final, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Then he finished, I think, 5th, didn't make it to the final.
Yes.
But then a story that came out of that is a story that I'll also leave to talk about it maybe in another forum when I'm now a guest, not a host.
Oh, okay.
The following year,
Yes.
during the National Track and Field Nairobi meet, I did 376. That was 17 hits in the 100 meters.
Yes.
17 hits.
17 hits. Actually, I think right now the sprints have more hits
than any
the long
other race
you
on
can't,
track.
You can't. Omanyala has pulled with him so many athletes. His brother, I think his wife now does, is it long jump?
Yeah.
He's pulled everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody. I think for him, he wanted somebody to just open the door.
Yeah.
And for us at NOC right now, what we are hoping is, one of the goals we have for LA is to have 2 new team sports. Probably we might see Harambee Stars. You never know. You never know. Or junior or rising stars. For us, we are
when
excited.
was the last time even Harambee Stars participated in the Olympic
No, anyway, what we're saying is...
I think it was during Nyamoya's time.
Wouldn't you... Can you guys imagine all the hype around Chan?
Yeah.
Even if it's with the rising stars, even just to go to Dakar next year, you never know.
Yeah.
We're just hoping. For us, the same door I opened for Manyala, I'm hoping that now we'll have another spoof moment.
Yeah.
For
because we've seen taekwondo.
Yes.
We've seen judo. We've seen rugby. We've seen athletics and boxing.
Yeah.
Swimming.
Yeah, swimming.
Yeah.
Now we anticipate 2032 we'll have a golfer at the Olympics.
Yes. Even maybe 2020. You never know. I'm telling you.
Fencing was there.
Yes, fencing was there. Judo had their first athlete. Just the other day. Shooting. I'm telling you. But for us, we secretly, we are hoping that there's going to be one more team sport. One more.
Yeah.
Just,
there was
just
a 3v3 basketball.
3x3 basketball.
Yeah. You mentioned about fencing.
Yes.
Quickly brings me to Ndolo.
Yeah.
And also this lady who was she skiing? What
Sabrina.
was that?
Sabrina,
yeah. And they mentioned about lack of proper support and everything else. What do you have to say about that?
Oh, come on, Yash.
I mean, it just popped up in my mind.
So I think diaspora athletes, right? Because what it means is most of our diaspora athletes, you find that the mom or dad was Kenyan or they grew up in Kenya and then they moved abroad.
Yeah.
We even have Equestrian, the horse. There's a lady who does horse riding, but in Olympics it's called Equestrian.
Okay.
She's young. She's called Modoni. She's about probably now 20 years.
Okay.
It's quite expensive for us to take even one athlete to the Olympics. Now you can imagine even just taking some of the sports are super expensive.
Okay.
I mean, at NOC and even through the government, we've been able to do the best that we can. But like I said, we're still growing. Sometimes it's super expensive.
Yes.
I think for Sabrina, we've given her I don't think there's an athlete who's gotten as much support as Sabrina has. But skiing is so expensive.
Okay.
And
is there a skiing federation in this country?
Yeah. Well, it's forming. It's forming. But now Sabrina was under us directly.
Okay.
Yeah, because there was no federation at that time.
All right.
So I think when I speak for Sabrina now, and even Equestrian, it's still growing. So I think we still, there's a lot of work for us at NOC to do for us to get partners to support our diaspora athletes.
Yeah.
Because it's super expensive.
Yes.
To take one athlete like Equestrian, it's like taking the rugby men's team for the series.
Yeah.
For the series that they're about to go to.
No
to take
kidding.
one athlete. Yeah. It's super expensive.
Wow, okay.
And they have to go to camps.
Yes.
Like skiing.
Yeah.
There's no snow. So and actually climate change has affected a lot of Winter Olympics. So you have to take them up the mountains in France.
Yeah.
And when you look at, I mean, you're not comparing, but it's a lot of money. And Sai Pale government, it's tricky. It's a bit tricky. Yeah,
Pockets
it's a bit
are tight.
tricky. Pockets are tight.
Yeah.
But we are hoping to do better. You can only learn from experiences.
Yeah.
And so we are hoping that with the next cohort, with our next, I think we have Issa and Ashley, our two rising athletes in winter. We now are working with them, trying to get more funding for them from IOC. So you will see better. You will see better results.
We shall keep an eye on that one for sure.
Yes, please do.
Rest assured. We're still talking, of course, to Staphey Wairimu, the head of Corporate Affairs and Communications, National Olympic Committee of Kenya. If you have any questions you want to throw her way, do that on WhatsApp 0733 222 105. Talk to us also on our WhatsApp number, on our social media pages, on Facebook, Instagram, X, and YouTube, Sporty FMK. We are Beyond Sport. This is the Extra Time Show. My name is Nyash, the Jabroni Slayer.
Greg Mulemi, the captain.
Absolutely. Like we mentioned, we have a guest in the house. She goes by the name of Staphey Wairimu. She's the head of Corporate Affairs and Communications at the National Olympics Committee of Kenya. In one of your Instagram posts, and now I'm starting to sound like a stalker, but I saw you talking about something you did in your research when you're doing the MBA. And it was based around mental health, and you mentioned something about Jermaine Defoe and what he had to go through. Can you tell us a bit more about that?
So in my MBA, actually somebody else in my class did it. I did separately, something separate on Real Madrid and yes, on Real Madrid. So we were asked to actually present your papers as films.
As films?
Yes, as films. It was quite interesting. Okay. So there's a lady in my class called Maria. She's from El Salvador. I think. And she just presented on Jermaine. And I had heard of Jermaine with Tottenham and Sunderland, but I didn't think he's such a big athlete or a big player. So when she presented it, and she said that you can even go and watch further on Apple TV. There's the video.
Yes.
So I went at night and I just watched it the same night because I was so interested. Football still is my first love, as much as I love all the sports. And when I went and watched it, so Jermaine suffered, or rather went through so much mentally. And at the end of the video, he speaks that it's affected him to the point till now he has no family. Because of all he saw his mom wash toilets, just for him to get an academy, just for him to stay in football, just for him to get school fees, went through some rough relationship issues, and saw his dad who used to drink silly. So he says he comes from football. You've been playing, your mom is washing toilets. You come from football and you find your dad is drunk. And as he continues with his professional career, his dad gets cancer. And so earlier on they separate with the mom, but the dad gets cancer. And you could just see through the film how for an athlete or for a player in this case, it affects his everyday situation. You have to sign contracts, you have to move teams, you have to leave your family behind. And I think for me it left a stain of our athletes they're humans like everybody else. Win or lose, our athletes are for Kenya, I was telling my class in the MBA, for us it's gold. It's not just medal. It's not just gold. A medal. Yes, you got a medal. Which one? For us it's even which one. But it takes, for an athlete, they are human. And sometimes we don't sit back and think, can you imagine being an athlete every single day, putting your body through so much stress, and now you have to deal with the mental part of it. So I think for me it just even motivated me further to just want to tell our athletes it's okay. It's okay to be human. It's okay to tell your story. It's okay to say you are not okay. Actually, that's that what. It's okay to say I'm not okay. And it's good to get help and don't feel shy. As Africans, tuko shy sana kusema tuko sijui. Okay, first of all, even as African, then you are a man.
Kusha. Where's your gear?
An African man.
It's
very hard for you to say I'm not okay. And even him, he says it was so hard for him as a black man in Europe to say, to even tell Tottenham and Sunderland, I'm not okay. Something at home is going on, because you want to make the squad. So I think that's the main thing I carried from that whole film, is for our athletes to know it's okay not to be okay. We are all humans, and to speak out and say, hey, I'm not feeling my best today. And
for him to even go and become, I think, the 10th all-time top scorer in the Premier League.
And to be one of the fewest black British managers. You've done all this, and at the end of the film, he still says, he looks behind and says, I've done all this for myself, but I still feel I was never enough. I was never appreciated enough. He feels like he should have done more. And that's why he's come back to football to give back. And when you just watch the film and you watch him get close to, are they called mascots? What were football? He gets close to one of the mascots from I think Sunderland, a small baby who later on passes away, and now he's just speaking about
now recall this story. That bald boy.
And he was just speaking of every time he tries to grasp hope, it sort of fails. Every time he makes the team, doesn't perform well. In 2010, he now finally he was just speaking that he waited for his phone to ring for so many times for Team England to call him to go to World Cup. It never rang. Yet back home, you're being told, Manze, when your
Umeiva.
when you're bad guy, but it never rang until in 2010. When he was in the same team with Beckham, and he just shows us what it means to him. He still has the things hanged on the wall, the boots he played with. It meant everything. He went to one World Cup, but it meant everything
to him.
And at that time he was able to say, "Hey, I'm okay, I can play," or "I'm not okay."
And I recall, I was going to say about great mental fortitude to go and become the all-time, not all-time, but one of the all-time top scorers. He has 162 goals. Like in the 2006 World Cup, he was overlooked for a teenager. Theo Walcott. And Dufour was at his peak at that point in time. So like, teenager instead of me. and then you're going through all that.
And then they go get whooped. And then they were like, tabloids start talking positive things about him. He has to wait for 4 years.
Imagine.
For another chance.
That's what I'm telling you, waiting for long. And even in 2010, I think he scored the goal to take England to round of 16 or something. Like, maybe in his mind he's thinking, I could have done this years ago.
2006 or stuff like that.
So it's so important for athletes to know it's okay not to be okay. And it's okay to actually take a break and think, like now they're going off season, most of them. Just to think like, what a season I've had. Whether I lost or not, I'm human. I'm
At
human.
the end of the day. Do you want to share the Real Madrid stuff?
Not now, because I'm not shared. Not now, but one of the inspiration I can mention that I've gotten from Ancelotti is how he's made the Madristas or Madridistas, just believe in the team. And I'm a Real Madrid fan just because of that. You know, I've just seen what he did for the team. I think these are people who are inspiring me to one day when I'm old and grey, out of social media, somewhere with my cattle, thinking what I did for Team Kenya, I'm proud. I'm just proud.
You set a foundation.
Set a foundation, and that's what I was telling you off air, that I'm so proud of the brand we've built for Team Kenya. Now you walk into office, you are like, especially after Chan and athletics, everybody's like, I want a piece of that.
Good stuff.
Do you have people that let's say drive you, and you feel that I think when I wake up in the morning, I want to make so and so proud?
My parents. I think my parents, I like I told you, my dad played basketball, and later on in life my dad got placement because we laugh with the basketball leaders because they played in very rough areas. Koti ya Nyayo haikuwa vile iko. It's not the best. We can do better, but it was worse, and so it affected even my dad. His hip, and later on in life. Actually, for people who play in bad surface areas, it gets you when you're in your 50s and 60s. So for me, it's to make my dad proud. I almost feel like I'm completing. It's a completion of where he got to. I'm just continuing. My parents are my biggest inspiration. They're still active and young. I'm the firstborn, so they're still up and down, and beside that, I think it's just Team Kenya. I think for me, I'm a fan of our athletes. Keep cheering them every day. And of course in NOC, of course, you keep getting partnerships with big brands. How do you continue making them feel they are at home, they are doing good, and they're getting value? Good question, especially with my corporate side. I think for the good thing is we are performing well, so our corporates like it and they're supporting it. But also just getting them to get on the track sometimes, like Peter loves golf, so we make sure that our golf athletes play with him go with his friends. That interaction, it's like, wow, they're just human like everybody else, and just make sure that now that they've come back, probably meet them, go visit them at home, just make them proud every single day. But also the value that they get is also in investing. Sports is an investment, and sports is a big industry. It's actually, for me, I believe sports is the biggest industry. We're just speaking like nobody's sold in millions. Like Premier League, how do you sell somebody? How do you even quantify a human being and sell them? So sports is a big industry, and I think even for corporates all around the world, the visibility that comes from sports, it's huge. It's in millions. Just look at even the EPL, how much money they get from that. Look at Chan, how much it just brought all of us Kenyans together. Everybody wanted to be part of the football community. So for our partners, I think besides us doing well on the track, in the field, I think they get a lot of visibility, just association. And the good thing about Team Kenya, you become patriotic. It's the one brand. It's not okay, it's business, but at the end of the day, you just become patriotic, relating it. you go home and you say, wow, I did something for my country. I contributed in making our country proud.
I was reading a piece of news today talking about how I think the UK, the creative economy, contributed to £2 billion.
What?
Wow.
The creative economy in the UK contributed to £2 billion in the economy of the country. In you being in that space of digital space, how do you think creative economy can maybe enhance you and your agenda and your objective and mission and vision at NOC? And also, what are your thoughts about in general or holistically the creative economy in this country?
And luckily, the Ministry of Youth, Creative Economy and Sports. So we are so intertwined. I think for us, one of the things that I'm passionate about is fan engagement. And I'll keep going back again to football, rugby. Just look at the rugby circuit. I would say that it has been going on.
The natural sevens.
A lot of fan engagement comes from making sports is entertainment. So let's say you have and something that at NOC we are trying one day to have. Like a national sports day. Actually, we've not spoken about it, but a national sports day where Kenyans come to like Kasarani. If you want to go watch rugby, your ticket gets you like rugby. You can go watch swimming. You can go watch football. So it's a day pass ticket. And so creative economy comes because we want to see our artists there. We want to see art. Want to see break dancers. Want to see skateboarding. So we are hoping, and our dream is in this quadrennial heading to 2028, we'll have like a national sports day where you can have like one ticket that gets you to different games, or it's one venue, but there's a lot of fun engagement activities. So we are trying to make sure that we integrate a lot of sports is entertainment. You know, when you're going for match day, even abroad, you have so many things to do. For us, we are dreaming even of having a kids section where you want to put your kids or people who are you still have your nanny there who's like, nah, I don't want to go to the games. They still have their section. So a lot of creativity in trying to make our fans just be busy and find value for your ticket.
What about the creative economy as a whole in this country?
We are still growing. I'll keep saying that. But now we are seeing a lot of our artists. Like I was just telling you about the song that is coming to my head every single time. And with that, each economy is growing. As our music industry is growing, our social media industry is growing. Our TikTok now. I think I saw somewhere that Kenyans are among either number 2 or number 1 that are using social media. A lot.
We spend the most time actually.
Yes, we spend the most time, even on AI, I think ChatGPT or something. So there's a lot. I mean, sports, like I said, with an athlete is in the middle. We keep saying at NOC that athlete is the heart, but there's so many people surrounding an athlete. So hopefully we are thinking that the government and through the ministry that they'll continue supporting creative economy and sports. We are so intertwined. And it's good to see that when we have like Madaraka Day or Mashujaa Day, even sports, I think there's a time we had even a final or like a football match going on
after
after the celebrations.
And just to add on that, you've traversed the world the few times or the many times you have. Yesterday there was this Instagram post, and we even discussed it here, whereby you find that foreign athletes embrace our culture in a way. Like today, you see we are donning the Team Kenya very beautiful tees, and then the bracelets. We saw the countries like United States, Botswana, Jamaica, all these countries. How do you feel about it? You've been out there. How huge or how important is our Kenyan brand out there?
Do you know, in Paris, I think, so what happens during the games is each country has like a house. So Kenya had Kenya House. So you take your teas, your coffee, and it's like you're arranged in a nice ally. So you can go like Team Kenya House, Team Jamaica House. Of course, when you want to, Jamaicans bring the vibe. Team Cuba, Team USA, and Team Kenya was, I don't think there's a house. Of course, Team USA had to do the most with their basketball team. But aside from that, I think Team Kenya, we are naturally hospitable. So having the bracelets there, having the merchandise, the rugby team, they go, when they're traveling the series, so their fans were there. I think if people knew how big Kenya is. And in Paris, there were so many. In France, there are so many Kenyans. I think even in Dubai, when I watched the series, everybody comes to watch the rugby men's play. So I think people don't know how big our brand is. It was so good to see different Kenyans, even different athletes from other houses coming to Team Kenya to see, hey, where is Omanyala, or where is this? Yeah, where are the rugby team? Our swimmers, they're famous over there. So I think we just do not know how big our brand is, even how big our merchandise was. I don't think we've sold as much merchandise as we sold for Team Kenya, as much as we sold in Paris. It was, everybody wanted to go to the stadium with a Team Kenya merchandise. And it was so unique. You know, other teams were not really selling their merchandise. They were selling more of Nike, more of Adidas. But for us, it felt home, even for African nations. So it's a big deal. Team Kenya is the biggest brand that we sell as Kenya. It's the biggest brand. I'm
talking about Team Kenya. Out there, sometimes you meet athletes who have switched allegiances. How do you speak to them, and how do they feel about it?
Please come back home. Please come back where the medals reside. But I think, of course, sports is business. But at the end of the day, I think they still secretly support Kenya. They're like, yes, there's still a wink. Did you see at the World Championships the way Africans were just coming together? It's Botswana, but Kenyans are just there. We are happy for South Africans. Africa is one. I remember
in Oregon, there was this lady who won the 3,000 meter steeplechase. She's from Kazakhstan. Actually, she represents Kazakhstan. She's Kenyan.
Is it Geruto?
Geruto, Nora Geruto. This lady, after winning the race, I think she went the full length of the pitch just trying to locate where there was a Kazakhstani
flag.
Yeah. I was like, you know,
but I think Kenyans are just a vibe. Which I noticed too, we are just my friends are always telling me Kenyans ni nini? Ninyi mnasumbua Tanzania na wametulia tu.
Wale kwanza hata tujamalizana nao. I think Simbi anatoka hapa nini Magadi.
Simbu. Ni Magadi?
I think so. Sio Mtanzania.
Tumewakopesha.
I think we're just a fun country. We're just fun. We're just fun. Yeah, we're vibing.
And talking about it, you being the National Olympic Committee head of corporate affairs and communication, of course, there is this gap that has always been there between the media and NOC. How have you tried to bridge that, and where do you want us to be, let's say, in the next few years, even before LA, and of course Dakar immediately coming up?
I think the good thing is I've been able to find friends within other NOCs just to learn from them. I think the Team Britain were my first friends. They first welcomed me. You know, when we're going for these conferences and you're learning from other NOCs, how is the integration? And then I noticed English media is a bit like Kenyan media. So I was like, okay, I think I need to move to, now I'm friends with a lot of them, and Team South Africa we've just been discussing with them, even just NOC exchange programs. For me, one day I'm dreaming, okay, maybe I'm there right now. We are much better than where we've come from. But for journalists and our media too, the media portrayal now, we've come from a time when, I think Greg knows, tuko tunacheka, tunaangalia, there's the funny stories that are written about our athletes, you know. Yes. But now I look at the newspapers these days, and it's more about celebration. You know, we don't have to say Gor Mahia was butchered, or was FC Leopards, or use
a stick.
Now we have to celebrate our athletes, whether they win or they don't win. So I'm hoping that our media one day we'll be able to just tell our stories in the softer side of our stories, the softer side of an athlete. Because it's true that even our partners, families of these athletes, are able to know wow and feel proud about them. You know, it's just not about brands. Sometimes it's our families who want to see their children, their siblings all over. Do you know how good I don't know if you guys have sports people in your family, but it feels so good.
But I'm a
coach. See them there.
Kama ungekuwa na athlete, you'd know what it means. I remember on the first day I went, my first assignment to Commonwealth Games in 2022, my dad was like, na unalala kwa ndege. Ushangai kwa nini watu wengine wamelala na wewe unalala kwa nini? Yeah, it's a miracle. You're with athletes, unalala kwa aje.
So I think you wanted you to interact with them, talk to them.
No, like how are you in the skies? You know, like for me, because it was my first time, I was like, why are people asleep? This is something unreal.
Yeah. Should be awake fully.
You should be awake until you land.
Relax.
Awako kwanza mtu tu relax and watch. Yeah, but I think for me, my dream is to just see the media when they walk the journey I've walked every single day walking with these athletes. Trust you me, the stories you write at the end are super different. You just don't wake up and win a medal. You don't. You don't.
And just before I give Inyash a chance to ask, the recent World Athletics Championship brought in new stars, new people coming onto the podium. Lilian Odira is one example of an athlete who has had that crescendo. Like I was reading a story somewhere, she's broken the barriers to reach where she is. She didn't have a foundation. And she actually, I think she won the school games around 2018. Then I don't know, got her first child in 2020, a second child in 2022. Then she becomes a double national champion. Then people were like, okay, maybe that was a fluke, because the first national championship, I think she won with a 201. And I remember the person I had given a chance to commentate that, because I was doing a shift somewhere, did mess up, and then the Athletics Kenya guys came out to do let to Jama. I don't know. He's a very good friend of mine. To talk about it. But then she repeated that this year, doing fantastically. I think she won the national championships in a way that nobody even doubted.
So it coming.
And then at the World Championship, she's there again, posting the 4th fastest time in the world over the distance. How remarkable is that? And you knowing that Lilian Odira, under your watch, she went to Miramas for the first time, didn't make it to the Olympic final in the 800 meters. Then 1 year down the line, she's here celebrating the topmost accolade in world athletics.
I think, and we're so lucky that we've been winning the 800 meters race. It seems to be ours. I don't know what's the secret behind it for the men and women. Just looking from Janet Jepkosgei, I was just overhearing you guys speak about her and our refugee program, which is a big program. And then we've just come down all the way to Mary Mora, and now Lilian. It was such a surprise. I was actually watching it with my friends, and we were screaming, push, and she's so tall, so we just kept pushing her to keep going. But it just goes to show that within our Team Kenya athletes, that it's possible for anybody to do anything. But I think I also want to just train with her. I've not had the opportunity to see her training. To just see, and it was good to see kwao nyumbani walikuwa pale airport jana wakimreceive. Wanasema tuta support. Well, we are just calling on all. It's good to see people embracing.
I'd rather keep my mouth shut until I know to say today. But
I'm actually do you know what? I'm actually looking to see where Lilian Odira will go. Like, I'm actually, what next for her? Because that title for world champion comes with a lot of weight. A lot of expectation. Probably now she'll be in Diamond Leagues. You never know. So there's a lot of expectation when you're the world champion. And now everybody is looking to beat you. And gives her even, heading to LA now, even a bigger target on her back. So she'll have to train hard, dig deeper to retain that title with Sarah and Mary there. And you never know, with Team Kenya, somebody just rises. Within the 4 years, you just never know.
You never know what happened. And just the sad fact is that those who came to welcome her have never given her a chance to train
ever
back at home.
Leave alone a facility.
Never facility.
And
I know it's a big challenge for NOC because athletes have to traverse and look for training centers in other areas. How challenging is that, even just getting their data right?
I think even right now there was a cry from Faith. I remember her in a video just telling the government, like, look, we're bringing in medals, yet we're training in, we don't have facilities because the stadiums, they had been closed because of Chan. So Nyayo is closed, Ulinzi is not yet certified fully, Kasarani is closed. Back up in Iten, we have not the best facilities, and yet they're bringing medals. Can you imagine? So what else how much more can we cry for you guys to make the stadiums better and accessible? So we are still trying to cry out, of course, again to the government to just make our our tracks better. But even at NOC, it's also challenging for us, and it's challenging us. I think now we are starting a high performance center. We are in talks with different counties on where it will be placed, so we can have our own track, and our national team can now go there and train. So hopefully we'll be announcing that in a few months and where it will be. With that, we are assured now with Team Kenya that they can go there and train comfortably, hoping that it will have hostels, it will have a good gym, so like our own mini stadium. But beyond that, it's the government's responsibility, to nurture talent. So we are hoping that the government can soon come on board and make our athletes have good training facilities. They deserve it. They deserve it.
They do. I saw you went to attend a match, I think when you were doing your studies. And you watched, was it a London derby?
It
for
was
women though.
Thank God it wasn't Manchester United.
I was hoping for Arsenal to lose.
How did that turn out? How did that turn out, and how was it for you, an experience as a person who's looking at, I'm sure, at this in a very different perspective now?
And one of the things that I want in future for my career transition is to support the women football, hopefully. And so that's why I actually went, because the lady who sits in the Brentford Premier League board, who is, I think, the only black, if I could say, woman in any Premier League board, came to our graduation. So she invited all of us, like,
the men's team.
Yes.
The board of the men's team.
Yes, Brentford, yes.
Okay.
Which is like, I have tickets, but it's for West Ham versus Arsenal. If you guys want to come, it's West Ham were home. So we said yes, and the weather was terrible, I remember. And the first goal was 1-0, and then they ended up to be 5-1. We shall not speak about that.
Who scored the 5?
Yes.
No, I'm just
experience.
Anyway, the game ended 5-1. That's the most important thing.
For the people who are listening. In favor.
Okay, Arsenal.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very
But even like I was telling you guys, even the match day experience, and it's the women's football. Actually, if there's something that is coming up, even Greg was just saying, the women's side in sports is really rising in performance. I mean, I could just tell I learned a lot. Even on my post, I just said I could just learn a lot from how fans are treated, how much the experience is. You get a magazine, you read about the athletes, you get to take photos, their families are there, they get to tell their stories. The journalists have, so now something interesting I saw is the journalists now have their section where even if you want the jersey after the game or during halftime, you can go, as a journalist, you can just go, that section is for interviews and collecting jerseys during halftime.
A mixed zone.
Like a mixed zone. So if I'm a journalist and I'm like, okay, I think I like this and this, you go, and so if you're like 3 journalists who want the merchandise, you agree who gets the merchandise or who gets the kit. So he signs for you during halftime and then quickly they just disappear. Because I noticed that during halftime the jersey belongs to, like, they can during halftime they can give out the jersey, but the one you finish with full time now belongs to the club. I noticed that with it's like there's so much to learn once you travel and you just see what other people are doing. You're like, wow, maybe in future even for Team Kenya we could have during halftime rugby. I don't know, we can just have
something of the sort. Absolutely.
Giving out to the fans.
I mean, we could talk to Steph forever, Greg.
At
some point, she's a radio personality. She don't talk.
I mean,
Najaribu.
If you listen to us, because of course, amefanya media kidogo. So she's very good at it. We absolutely appreciate you coming here.
Thank you so much, guys.
You cannot leave here before you talk to us about your club, United. Why are you doing so well so far? And
why did you beat Chelsea?
Why did you beat Chelsea? And also, what do you think about your manager's stubbornness on not changing formation? Do you think that's okay? He's sticking to a style that he has worked with before and succeeded, or do you feel like you need to be a bit more flexible or versatile?
I saw. Is it this week that I saw the management has flown in and we thought that there's going to be some announcements, but there was no announcement. It's really tough because, you know what's funny? I have a love-hate relationship with our coach. Sometimes I'm like, yes. Sometimes, like over the weekend.
Actually, alisema pia he hates the fans sometimes. Sometimes I love them.
Then we are in sync. So it's very hard. Sometimes I love him. Sometimes I'm like, no, he needs to go. But okay, we've given him enough time. I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's happening behind the doors. We've released some good players that I would have opted to remain. I know people prefer Rashford going, but I don't know. I was attached to him. It's like Trent and Liverpool. He's like our boy,
So sad. My boy is called Trent. Please.
I have to remind you.
My boy is called Trent.
Oh really?
Yeah.
After Liverpool.
Yeah.
But I love Trent. Trent and Jude are like my top 2 athletes. I love them. But for Manu, by the I'm hoping this time by the end of the season we have to be top 5. Nyash, we are finishing top 5. I'm not so sure where. But tunaweza kuwa hapo number 5 4.
Mnatoa nani?
Tunatoa nani ama wapi?
Nani?
Hapo top 5.
Kwa wenye walikuwa top 5.
Walikuwa.
Nani mnatoa?
Since sema it's too early. It's like game week 3 hivi. I cannot speak much, but I think let's give it time.
Are you speaking for men's team or women's team? Because the women's team
women's team are performing.
Yeah, makes sense kusema top 5. Men's team Yoni.
So okay, so now question to you, Nyash.
Yes.
And to you, Greg.
Yeah.
Now that you're there's Arsenal and there's Liverpool. There's Liverpool who can potentially win.
Yes.
There's Arsenal who
May.
there's not even May. Yeah. They get there and then I don't know what happens. So let me now my chance to ask you, Nyash.
Oh, okay.
Before I go. Who do you think will win the Premier League? Who do you think will win? My question, who do you think will win the Premier League?
Yes.
And if not that question, who are your top 2 in the Premier League? Who do you think will finish 1 and 2?
I think Liverpool will not win the Premier League.
Okay.
I think Arsenal wins it.
Okay.
They are the most competitive rival we could ever have, and us for them as well.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be those 2 teams. I don't fancy Manchester City. I don't fancy... Who is the other one? It's Chelsea.
Yeah. Of course not Chelsea.
Fugazi world champions. I think for me, the top 2 teams right now, Liverpool and Arsenal. But I think Arsenal wins it.
Okay, and for you, Greg, who do you think will win the Champions League? The Champions League. And then number 2.
And why do you think it's Arsenal?
Or the final. Who do you think will be in the finals of the Champions League?
Champions League.
Of course not Arsenal. They've never.
I've never been put on the sword like today.
It's okay. Some are too Arsenal will get it.
No, not Arsenal. I believe Bayern Munich can do something, and Barcelona.
So you don't see yourselves?
No, I don't think Liverpool will win this. Not because they can't, but because I feel that they just fall short. Because actually, I believe Liverpool's main aim right now is to break that 20 title barrier. Yeah. That jinx, and then make it 21. I think to them that's more important right now because they've won enough Champions League. But I feel Barcelona and Bayern Munich are really good this season. Are really good this season. Yeah.
Honestly, I sort of agree with him for the Liverpool side, not for the Bayern. No. I think your form looks a bit more like in the league. In the Champions League, I find you a bit porous defensively.
Yeah, despite just having played a game.
Yeah. I think that phase that the form that you're portraying right now, I don't think gets you far in the Champions League. Because I know you did that against Atletico, scoring in the last minute and all that stuff. I don't think you can rely on it fully.
Yeah,
I feel like you need some defensive solidity in the Champions League. It's a tournament.
It's a tournament.
Yeah.
Kwa ligi, unaweza ride on that wave as well. You can do that in a league. You can ride on the wave. Yeah. That's why I think for me, chances of you winning, let's say the Premier League, could be more than the Champions League. Yeah, that's the only thing I can say. But I don't think you win either.
Yeah, and Steph, you not support like a fan. Some football club, and which one is it? And
Gwango. Gwango FC.
Yeah, Gwango FC.
Like I've told you guys, I'm deep down still passionate about football. So I'm supporting a community club deep in Kiambu County. It's called Gwango FC. I'm always tagging them on Twitter.
Gwango nile nini wale majamaa wanatengeneza yogurt.
Really?
Gwango is yogurt.
Gwango is yogurt.
In which language?
In
which lingo?
I don't know its lingo. But there is an estate down here.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, ukishapita bypass. Initwanga Mushada. Yeah.
No, but now that's interesting because I need to look for them and stuff. They need to support my team.
Yeah.
But Gwango, I actually saw yesterday we sold somebody to Naivas Youth.
Now see.
Voila.
Yeah.
You guys were playing in the playoff for which division?
Is it division?
Yeah. You were playing at the annex there, and the other time we were talking to you like, today I'm in action.
Oh yes, is it division 2? Division 2, yeah. But I support them and I'm always telling my friends, what do you do? Come and do it for our team. What do you do? Yeah, so I was talking to Mike from Beast Athletic.
Yes.
I'm trying to get him to just partner with us to make for us.
He was there in the
kids.
morning, by the way.
Yes. Yeah. To make for us jerseys. I can't wait for them to have some nice jerseys. So yeah, I support back. That's how I give back. I keep telling people all the knowledge I'm gaining from NOC, I have to give it back to somewhere. So I'm giving it back to Community Football Club. But if you're asking Premier League club, I mean KPL.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's so tricky. It's so tricky because I don't know. I don't see. Yesterday I had a Gor Mahia shirt and everybody was like,
please.
I'm like, no.
Riswa.
Don't go there, please.
No, it was a gift. It was a gift from SportPesa.
Yeah, piga tu kwa frame pale.
Okay, so which teams should I? Nyash, which one do you support?
Tusker. Come to Tusker.
No, Tusker are my team actually because Tusker supports Team Kenya. Yeah.
Thank
so
you
it's
very much.
easy.
And FC has
FC is
Wanyonya and Omanyala.
Yeah, Wanyonya and Omanyala no APS Bomet.
Akula eko job. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Thank you so much, Steph. I'm seeing someone here on WhatsApp saying the question you ask about the league and I said Liverpool.
Umekuwa on a romp.
Ni Gwango.
Amekuwa rampage on how can I put it?
Just come to Gwango.
You've been on a streak kuanzia jana. Nikatona nyamaza.
The queen me pops out at the wrong time, goddamn it. Every goddamn time. Jesus Christ. Oh my days. Yeah. Anyway, anasema Liverpool are going to win the league because of Arteta's stubbornness of playing Merino, Rice and Zubi Mendy together. That's Kenodia Mwangi who's saying that about the
Kenodia Mwangi ni yule alikuwa nini? Commandant wa police.
Hiyo kitambo. Alikuwa aje alikuwa nani? There was something like that. Of course we'll be talking to one like Staphey Wairimu. She is the head of corporate affairs and communications at the National Olympic Committee of Kenya. We appreciate you coming here.
Thanks so much, lads.
Yeah, we should call you back again soon.
Yes, good vibes.
Yeah,
good vibes.
Very much. And maybe come even for a watch along or something.
Yes, for sure. And now you're invited to Team Kenya watch parties.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. we want to cross you over from football to other stuff. Shooting. Have you tried shooting?
Yes.
Shooting anything else?
Not blanks.
Anything. You just come over to Team Kenya. We have over 30 sports.
Okay.
Utakosa something else apart from football.
Yeah. I think I'll be there upon. I mean, I'm called the Gunners. I might as well just, start shooting something. All right. It's now 46 minutes past 9 p.m. When we come back, we'll be talking a bit more about the Carabao Cup.
Yep.
Giving some results on the Europa League matches that have happened and telling you what to be watching out for the games kicking off at 10 in the p.m. Right about now, Fans by Davido.